We've all been here. Late at night, scrolling through Instagram, double-tapping on posts about morning routines and productivity hacks, or standing in a bookstore holding the latest self-help bestseller thinking, this time, I'll actually read it. Maybe you've written down ambitious goals, bought fancy planners, or signed up for that gym membership you swore you'd use. But despite all these intentions, all the motivation, videos you've watched, and inspirational quotes you've saved, you're still here, in the same place, dreaming of change, but never quite making it happen. And maybe, just maybe, the real reason you never start your self-improvement journey is not laziness, lack of time, or not having the right resources. Stay tuned, because in the next few minutes we're going to uncover these hidden obstacles. We'll explore why, despite your best intentions, you keep finding yourself stuck in the same patterns, and more importantly, how to finally break free and start the journey of real, lasting self-improvement. To start, let's talk about something you might not have heard much about: emotional inertia. This is the tendency to remain in a particular emotional state and resist change. It's different from laziness or lack of motivation. Think of it like being stuck in a groove of a record. It's comfortable, even if it's not where you want to be. To understand emotional inertia, imagine it as a psychological version of Newton's first law of motion. An object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion, unless acted upon by an external force. Similarly, our emotions and mental states tend to stay the same unless something significant disrupts them. A good example is the character of Andy Dufresne from the movie The Shawshank Redemption. Andy is wrongly imprisoned and initially experiences despair and hopelessness. His emotional state is bleak, and change seems unimaginable. However, he eventually decides to channel his emotions towards hope and determination, which leads to his remarkable transformation and eventual escape. This shift in emotional state required a conscious effort to overcome the inertia of his initial despair. Laziness is often a choice to avoid physical or mental effort, while lack of motivation is a general disinterest in pursuing goals. Emotional inertia, however, is about being emotionally stuck. It's not about avoiding effort, it's about the difficulty of changing an ingrained emotional state. Changing your environment can be a good step in dealing with this invisible force. Our surroundings play a huge role in our emotions. Rearrange your furniture, take a different route to work, or even just change the wallpaper on your phone. These small changes can disrupt your emotional patterns and make space for new ones. Another giant cause. Why you might be struggling to start your journey is the fear of emotional labor. Emotional labor is the effort it takes to confront and manage our deepest feelings and vulnerabilities. Think of it like cleaning out a really messy closet. You know you need to do it, but just thinking about the process makes you want to slam that door shut and pretend everything's fine. Real self-improvement takes more than just learning new skills or forming habits. It needs digging deep into who you are, facing your flaws, and working through difficult emotions. That's scary stuff. It's no wonder we often avoid it. Let's listen to what shame researcher Brené Brown has to say about this.
They didn't talk about vulnerability being comfortable, nor did they really talk about it being excruciating. They just talked about it being necessary.
According to Brown, progress requires us to be vulnerable. It means admitting we're not perfect, that we need to change. And that's not easy. Think about it. Have you ever avoided looking at your bank statement because you're scared of what you might see? Or put off going to the doctor because you're worried about bad news? That's the fear of emotional labor in action. This fear keeps us stuck because it feels safer to stay in our comfort zone, even if that zone isn't actually comfortable. We choose the pain we know over the potential pain of growth and change. Remember the Truman Show? Truman lives in a fake, controlled world. When he starts to realize something's off, he has a choice: stay in his safe, familiar world, or face the scary unknown. That's exactly what we're dealing with when we avoid emotional labor.
Truman! We shouldn't be doing this, Truman! We're breaking the law! Oh my!
Truman eventually chooses to face his fears and step into the unknown. And that's what real self-improvement asks of us too. So, how can we overcome this fear of emotional labor? Practice, practice, practice. Self-compassion. Be kind to yourself as you do this work. Remind yourself that it's okay to struggle and that facing these emotions makes you brave, not weak. I want to think we've all been in this situation. You tell yourself, I'll start my diet on Monday, or I'll begin that project once things calm down at work. This perfect time is like a mirage in the desert. The closer you think you're getting, the further away it seems. Let's take a look at something we see every day. Social media is full of people living their best lives. Influencers with perfect morning routines, ideal work-life balance, and flawless fitness regimens. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking, I'll start when my life looks like that. And most of those picture-perfect moments are often staged, filtered, and far from reality. Real life does not involve waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. Your life will always have challenges, busy periods, and imperfections. That's not a sign to wait, it's your cue to begin. So, how do we break free from this waiting game? 1. Embrace the imperfect start. Instead of waiting to start perfectly, start imperfectly. Remember, a small step forward is infinitely better than no step at all. 2. Set a now deadline. Pick something you've been putting off and give yourself a deadline. Not next week, not tomorrow, but within the next hour. It could be as small as doing fasting for 2 hours or writing 1 paragraph. The key is to start now. Lastly, there's the pervasive need for instant gratification. These days, as you scroll through your phone, you will encounter numerous enticing promises like lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks, or become a millionaire with this one weird trick. This is similar to trying to microwave your entire life into perfection in 30 seconds or less. The problem is when we expect quick results, we're setting ourselves up for the world's most disappointing magic trick. Poof! Watch your motivation disappear. Consider this. You start a new diet, expecting to look like a superhero in spandex by week 2. When that doesn't happen, you feel like a failure and give up before you begin. Remember the Karate Kid? Daniel San thought he was going to learn cool karate moves. Instead, Mr. Miyagi had him hanging and dropping his coat.
I put my jacket on 1,000 times, and I took it off 1,000 times, okay? This is stupid. I'm done.
Daniel got frustrated, just like we do when we don't see instant results. But those seemingly pointless tasks? They were building the foundation for his success. The truth is, real, lasting change is more like growing a mighty oak than popping popcorn. It takes time, patience, and yes, a whole lot of jacket on, jacket off moments. You can escape this trap by using the backward planning technique. Start with your end goal and work backwards, breaking it into smaller, manageable steps. Want to run a marathon? Begin by running to your mailbox, then to the end of the street, and then around the block. You get the idea. As we wrap up this journey, remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is your best self. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on personal growth. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's your biggest takeaway?